Welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to Gaming, and They Came From. It has been some time since we last discussed a They Came From RPG here on the Gentleman Gamer YouTube channel. I'm very glad to be doing so again. Of all of the games I have the chance to work on in the RPG industry, I am always happiest when working on a They Came From game. They are by far the most fun games to write and develop. The teams that I put together when I happen to be developing projects for the They Came From game line are always just fantastic. The collaboration is a joy from beginning to end. All of the ideas that get flung back and forth, many of them utterly absurd and therefore completely appropriate for the They Came From game line. I have enjoyed every single They Came From I've had the chance to work on, from Beneath the Sea and Beyond the Grave and Camp Murder Lake to Classified and Cyclops' Cave, Witchford Academy, which is coming out, and RPG Anthology. But here we are now, in the Danger Zone. They Came From the Danger Zone is the newest big sourcebook for They Came From. In theory, it is an expansion sourcebook to They Came From Classified, because it covers some of the same genre in the form that They Came From Classified is about espionage media and Danger Zone is about action movie media. But as with Camp Murder Lake, it can very easily be used to bolt onto any of the They Came From core books. The only thing it's missing is the Storypath Ultra chapter, or Storypath chapter, and you can find them in any They Came From core rulebook. Otherwise, They Came From the Danger Zone contains 5 new archetypes, all beginning with C. You have the Cop, the Combat Master, the Clone, the Cyborg, and indeed the Commando. Yes, if these archetypes sound familiar to you, they are all based on Arnold Schwarzenegger characters. Because for a while, They Came From the Danger Zone was going to be called They Came From Arnold. And I ended up vetoing that title because the way it was spelt looked a little too much to me like They Came From Arnold. And I didn't want that to be the theme of They Came From the Danger Zone. It's a different kind of Danger Zone. But we can talk about that in another video, maybe. So They Came From the Danger Zone was made as a definite tribute to the 80s action movies, and early 90s action movies for that matter, of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and to a lesser extent Jean-Claude Van Damme and Sylvester Stallone, and somewhere over there Steven Seagal. But there are lots of fantastic action movies, whether they have Arnie in or not. The main touchstone that I was getting people to watch who were working on Danger Zone was Stone Cold, which I believe was released in 1990. If you've seen the movie Stone Cold, comment in the comments below, because I personally think that Stone Cold stands up there as maybe the best, the definitive 80s action movie that wasn't actually released in the 1980s. It has everything from gunfights in grocery stores to helicopters smashing into buildings to people falling through skylights. There's hostages, there's Aryan bikers, because we all like them. There's a cop that doesn't play by the rules. He's a maverick, a loose cannon. He's just had his badge taken away, but by God, he's going to impose law the best way he can. Yeah, Stone Cold is top-tier action exploitation. And I would say that if the material in They Came From the Danger Zone takes inspiration from anywhere more than, let's say, Commando, Stone Cold is up there. But when you look at the Arnold Schwarzenegger oeuvre, everything from Conan to Commando to Predator and Terminator, of course. We likewise have Total Recall, and we have I think it's The Seventh Day, I want to say. There's there are a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Kindergarten Cop, of course. Last Action Hero. If you really want to get mystical about it and cross over Beyond the Grave with Danger Zone, you also have End of Days. So yeah, there's a lot of Arnie movies that we pull upon for Danger Zone, but we've struck multiple action highlights for the media inspiration in this game. So not only do you get 5 archetypes, all brand new to the They Came From RPG, they all come with brand new tropes, so that's all their new special abilities. All new. Every single They Came From RPG, when it introduces new archetypes, it introduces new tropes, it introduces new trademarks, those are the new specialities that you can apply to your skills. It also introduces new stunts, because remember, Danger Zone uses Story Path Classic, and in They Came From, what we did was introduce new stunts for every single archetype that you could basically choose from. And then, of course, the pièce de résistance, the cinematics, which range everything from crash landings, cocaine rodeos. I'm going to read through some of these. Let's read Cocaine Rodeo, shall we? Like the late great Tony Montana, someone senior in the production team has been overindulging themselves and spending too much time with a thin white duke. Too much blow leads to the inevitable overconfidence and a bunch of poorly thought out, inappropriately wacky ideas. Unfortunately, this adult brain has enough clout to force their ideas on the rest of the production, leading to all manner of insanity: robot uprisings, giant spiders, chainsaw wielding circus folks surfing tidal waves. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. That's an Escape from LA reference. As long as it's big, flashy, and looks good in the trailer, it's the director's job to fix continuity and bash it into shape. This cinematic, it costs 3 rewrites, brings something big, bizarre, and unexpected into the scene. The weirder, the better. The players get to decide what drug-fueled idea gets shoehorned into the plot, but the director decides how it's integrated. The distraction this causes benefits the characters, but also causes the scene to escalate in weird and wonderful ways. We can't guarantee they are all good. Cocaine Rodeo is one of those cinematics that is quintessentially They Came From. It's the player's ability to spend rewrites, which in other story path games are momentum, to purchase this cinematic power and fundamentally alter the scenario you are playing. I mean, you could have everything from a helicopter suddenly crashes into the set to Godzilla rising up from beneath the pavement or the road or the sea, as is Godzilla's preference. You could have, if you want to keep things on the lowdown, let's say you're at war with a biker gang, maybe a rival biker gang comes out of the shadows and starts dancing off with them, giving you the time to escape. Maybe that hostage is the daughter of the chief of police all of a sudden. Cocaine Rodeo allows you to change so much. And this is just one of the many, many cinematics that exists in this game. And of course, you have new quips, new one-liners that you can equip to your character, and you can use at the most entertaining points. They do not have to be appropriate. In fact, I would argue they're most entertaining when they're not appropriate. You bellow out your quip at that point, you gain more dice, and hopefully it will make the trailer. Or the awards ceremony, in the rare case where an action movie actually wins some awards. Not only that, you come with... this book comes with new antagonists, a whole slew of new villains for your They Came From game. They're all pretty much bespoke. It's before we started really applying templates to any of the story path games in terms of antagonists. Certainly in terms of They Came From. And that means every single antagonist, whether it's in this game, in Camp Murder Lake, in Classified, in Cyclops' Cave, has its own range of stats, its own range of special abilities, therefore incredibly customizable for your game. And it has scenarios, so that means you can play straight out of the book, get straight into the Danger Zone mold with a minimum of effort, and I don't want you having to apply any effort whatsoever. So this is a scenario, a side order of spies, which is based around a MasterChef-like cooking competition on an evil villain's island. Your characters have to smuggle themselves into the competition as chefs, and of course, in Under Siege fashion, he's not really under siege in Under Siege, is he? Because he's on board a ship. ships don't often fall under siege. Anyway, yes, you have to smuggle your way into the cooking competition, prove yourself as the best chef to get hired on the villain's island, and then, of course, the explosions begin. You have loads of sets, loads of new cast, so much material in this book that There's another scenario as well, on top of that. I'm always so happy to talk about They Came From, and I think you can tell. This isn't one of those videos where I need to speak to you in a moody voice and try and evoke some kind of tension. When I talk about They Came From, it is nothing but happiness, because every one of these games has been a complete joy, as I said at the beginning. But also a certain amount of gladness. But way back in like 2017 or 18, I don't know now, when I first pitched They Came From Beneath the Sea to Rich Thomas at Onyx Path Publishing, I had no idea that we would be able to cover nearly so many media genres as we have. Back then, the way the pitch for Beneath the Sea had evolved from being almost a strictly dry military PMC-based game, which I spoke about on my YouTube channel many, many years ago, to something a little more camp, a little more Garth Marenghi, all the way through to the MST3K, I guess, punctuation that ultimately got added to it. I was just thinking, this is going to be fun. We're going to be able to play 1950s B-movies via the medium of RPG, and this is going to be the ideal way to do it. That was my hope. And then we got to do Beyond the Grave after that, because Beneath the Sea did so well, and Beyond the Grave did even better than Beneath the Sea. And so then we got to do Classified and Cyclops' Cave, not to forget Camp Murder Lake, which, like Danger Zone, is a mega sourcebook. And Danger Zone being a mega sourcebook is not going to be alone as well, because Witchfoot Academy is going to be a mega sourcebook expansion to Cyclops' Cave. And we also have RPG Anthology, which contains a dozen new genres. So we've covered pretty much everything we possibly can, I like to think. And so much of it has been down to people like you. If you're watching all the way up to this point, no one likes award speeches too much. I haven't won any awards for They Came From. I'm very unlikely to. They are the same kind of schlock that movies are, that prevents them from winning Oscars, Emmys, BAFTAs and the like, but that doesn't mean they're not fun. They get your friends around the table and play with them. So whether you want to tell a story where you are raiding a drug cartel in a nebulous Latin American country, only to discover as you reach the leader of the cartel, the head of the cartel's mansion, that he's already been skinned and is suspended upside down because an alien's invaded, and this predator is now going to pursue you out of El Calavera. Val Calavera, let's go for that, instead of Valverde, which always ends up in every other damn Latin American action flick. Or if you want to do things a little more street level, you're all loose cannon cops, elite commandos retired, rogue agents out of Vietnam, well, wouldn't you know, the senator's son has gone missing. And because he knows some highly sensitive information about the senator has recruited you specifically to track him down and find out where he's gone. Or whether you want to do something a little more personal, and one of your characters' daughters has been kidnapped in the way of Commando, and you've got to track down your former squad and take them to task. There is so much you can do, so many pastiches, so many parodies, so much inspiration that can be pulled from that wonderful medium of action cinema. And the 80s and early 90s was just such a brilliant era for action. So fantastic. So please do check it out. I will link They Came From the Danger Zone in the video description below. And if you have already bought a copy, please, please, please leave a rating and review on DriveThru RPG. You won't be able to within 24 hours of purchase, but after 24 hours you can do so. It will help bring it to other people's eyes. This is a book It's not flying off the shelves. It's not breaking records. I would love if more people picked it up. And so please use the link in the video description below. Enjoy it. It is a game purely for enjoyment. This isn't a game where you're going to have a scene of great introspection and learn something about yourself. This is a game you play because you want to have fun at the table with your friends. And what more can we ask for in this distinctly unfun year so far? Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you pick up a copy of Danger Zone. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll be seeing you next time.